A few years ago, still in primary school, we were choosing the people that would represent us in a student council. And as one of the candidates, I had this mini campaign in which I would approach another person and give them a mini leaflet with my name and the class I was in. You know, just the basic information you need in order to cast your vote. And one of the students whom I approached accepted the leaflet and said, "I'll vote for you under the condition that you will not promote the LGBTQ ideology." I was a bit stunned by that, and I remember I blurted, "Okay," because I just didn't know what to say. In general, I was open about my sexual orientation, but that's pretty much it. I wasn't protesting any ideologies or anything. And as members of the student council, we were meant to do typical stuff, like giving flowers to the teachers at the end of the year. Somebody would give a speech once in a while. Nothing, queer. So to me, knowing the tasks I would have to perform, this argument made no sense. And at the time, it seemed so out of place that I didn't realize that I just got discriminated. Neither did I have enough awareness to handle it. I just blurted, "Okay." I didn't assert myself. I didn't oppose. I just froze, and to my own shock, I let this remark shut my mouth. My sexual orientation is something that I'm comfortable with, but not loud about. And not being too loud about it is an attitude that has been enforced onto me by the culture. Not because I'm queer, but because I'm a woman. Women are taught to express their sexuality in highly discreet ways. We are told to preserve our virginity for future spouses, to cover our bodies in public places. Girls get complaints from schools for wearing shorts in the summer. We are told to be modest, meaning to be respectful to the community and the place we're in. But we are not taught to respect the quality of our own existence. In the modern world, the enforced modest image is intertwined with our highly individualistic culture. As children, we grow up hearing that we should be ourselves, embrace the uniqueness in us, write our own stories. And that's beautiful, but those mottos are only celebrated when your individualistic traits don't go beyond the societal norms. You can be praised for being bold, for being original, but not for being different. Some people say that they accept the queer only if they keep it to themselves. And I think that this statement illustrates the society's approach to queer persons. We are being tolerated under the condition that we are not too loud about our own existence. In other words, that we are not different from others. It's an acceptance of the LGBTQ concept, but not the LGBTQ community. And queer women who don't try to stand out and choose to fit in the narrative constructed by the society are misunderstood even more, because then people cannot place them in any category at all. They just don't fit anywhere. They're too different to be normal, and too normal to be different, so they remain misunderstood and become invisible. Queer people, especially queer women, have to constantly remind others about their sexual orientation, because if they don't do it, they're not fully seen. And you're not too loud when you reclaim control over your own story and simply inform others about who you are. By talking openly about yourself, you reclaim your own power and you create a space for discussions that can ignite change. You give a helping hand to LGBTQ youth who feel defeated by societal norms and prejudices. When you discover that you're queer, you go through a process of opening your mind that your love is directed to a person of the same sex. No matter how progressive we think ourselves to be, we still live in a heteronormative society where the formula for a couple is wife plus husband, not wife plus wife. Therefore, if you're a queer person who is figuring out their sexual orientation, you have to make an effort to think beyond the relational stereotypes that have been instilled in you. You have to learn to be empathetic towards your own self. And empathy is not about understanding someone, it's about understanding anyone. Whenever you notice a trait in a person, be it regular or atypical according to your view of the word. Let's say a skin color, a nationality, something like a specific hobby. You give it a name, you name it, you label it. Right now, you're perceiving me as a schoolgirl, a young woman, maybe an activist. You've just created a label. The language that you're using is your pen and paper. We love labeling things, using the prescriptive grammar of our culture to keep things neatly organized. Each minority that faces prejudice and feels unwelcome by the society at large desires for this society to change their perception of them. And each group fights for the right separately, but in the end they have the same goal, to be seen as humans, simply humans, not as minority representatives. From a reductionist perspective, I'm only a creature made of carbon-based molecules, and so are you, and the remaining 8 billion of us on this planet. It is very probable that one more human being has been brought to life this very minute, and this new carbon unit will grow seeking what we all do: love, acceptance, understanding, or a sense of safety. Every person may try to fulfill these needs in very different ways, but in essence, we're all similar. So why try to understand the minority when instead you could try to understand the human being? Thank you.